Are you looking at building your first home gym but not sure what squat rack to get? If this is the case, then this is the video for you. Now, in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the brand Mirafit, and we're going to be going through the different options you can have for their squat racks and their squat stands. Now, for those of you who are looking at buying equipment for your first home gym, I know firsthand how expensive it can be. Now, just before lockdown hit in 2020, I made the decision to buy myself some home gym equipment just because I didn't want to take the risk of gyms being shut and not being able to train. And then when lockdown finished, I made the decision to build my own sort of one-to-one personal training studio in my house. Now, I spent a lot of time researching, and I'm going to share a bunch of this research with you to hopefully help you in building your own home gym. So in this video, I'm going to be focusing on Mirafit and all of their gym equipment. I find it's easy to buy the majority of your stuff from one particular place or one particular brand. You tend to be able to get better deals. You can also get some of it on finance. So we're going to be focusing on Mirafit today. And then in future videos, I'm going to do different brands. I'm going to do comparisons between brand A and brand B. Now, one of the most essential pieces of equipment that we're going to need is going to be that squat rack. And the thing is, there are so many different ones out there. So where do we even begin? Now, obviously you want to do your own research. I'm not entirely sure what your own budget is. So throughout this video, I'm going to give you different price point options. None of them are going to be massively expensive. They may seem like they are, but these are kind of the most reasonably priced, high quality items that you can get out there in the market today. So we're going to start off with Mirafit, the M100 Power Rack. Now, there's going to be lots of random numbers and names of these particular things, but all you need to worry about is that they'll be linked in the description below so you can find them yourselves. So the Mirafit M100 Power Rack, this is kind of like their most basic entry level rack. That said, it is still very good. We've got a pull-up bar attachment above it on the top. We've also got some safety bars here. The only thing that's going to differ between this and potentially one of the more heavy duty racks is that the overall load for this particular rack is only 250 kilograms. I say only, for most of us, 250 kilograms is going to be more than enough. But if you are stronger than that, then good for you. Even though it's one of the lighter duty versions of these racks, it weighs in at 64 kilograms, so it's going to be pretty sturdy on a gym floor. Height wise, one of the things you always want to check is going to be the different heights for your rack. So if you're doing this in a garage or if you're doing this in an outbuilding, you want to make sure you've got enough height to be able to perform things like pull-ups. I had to put a little section in my gym where I had to raise the ceiling because when I want to do a pull-up, I was going to put my head through the plasterboard. Not so good. So this squat rack rated to 250 kilograms. It's around 210 centimeters tall. You can actually make it a little bit shorter by using the pull-up bar. You can actually install it upside down, and then that way it will go down. So you can still do your pull-ups, but it's not going to take up quite as much height if you're worried about that. Now, one of the slight drawbacks of this rack is that I find that if you've got a bench that protrudes too far, so I have the Mirafit M150 bench. We'll talk about it a bit more a bit later. But basically, I find that I actually can't set up things like bench press inside of the rack because you can't get close enough to being inside of it. So if I kind of show you where I'm moving around here on the screen, you actually can't get the bench deep enough in to be able to safely lift off and push down. So you end up having to bench press outside of the rack. But all around, a pretty decent rack, £299. It comes in black and it comes in orange. So not super cheap, but it is going to last you a very long time. So another good thing about this squat rack is that it comes with a cable pulley system. So this will be a plate loaded pulley system. So the weights that you're using for your bench or squat, etc., you can also attach onto this pulley system, which you would attach by screwing it into the base and also the top. And then basically this just allows you to do other exercises like lat pull downs, although I'm not sure why he's standing, upright rows, seated rows, and you can use either your Olympic plates, or which is the 2-inch kind of gap in the middle, or you can put 1-inch plates also on, like you can see here on the in the picture. That's a great addition. It is another £149. This is slightly cheaper than Powerhouse Fitness's option for their baseline squat rack. But if you've got the rack, you've got the pulley system, you're going to be able to do so many exercises, like a wide variety of exercises. So yeah, so why not invest in it, get it, boom, done. Moving on to squat rack number 2. So this is the M200, not the 100, but the 200. Now this one is a little bit more heavy duty than the first one I showed you, hence the 200, I suppose. Very well reviewed, 76 reviewed, pretty much all 5-star. This was a fierce contender for when I was looking at getting my own home gym stuff. It's a great price, £399, or yeah, £399. Again, comes in black and orange. I personally would have got it in the black. My brother loves orange, so he has most of his gym is kind of painted in black and orange. Go figure. So for him, he loves the orange version of this. You can also get a pulley system for this one as well. So again, it's about another £150. It's probably a very similar pulley system to the first one, but again, plate loaded. So you can be able to do all of those extra accessory exercises like your lat pull downs, upright rows, bicep curls, tricep extensions, etc. So you can set it from high and also from low. This one, the main difference is it's just slightly more heavy duty. So this one's rated to 350 kilos. So if you're really strong, I would recommend going for this. If you know you're going to be trying pushing big numbers, if you're a power lifter, this might be a rack that's going to suit you more than the M100 will. It also has some nice safety spotters, so you can attach these to the outside of the rig, and then you're going to be much safer doing bench press. This is one of the things that I wish that my rig had. It doesn't, and sometimes I feel a little bit uneasy when I'm doing bench press. One of the things you need to think about when you're training at home is training safely. Now, if you're limited on space, option 3 might be the one for you. So we're going to look at some squat stands now. Not quite as robust as a squat rack. However, you're still going to be able to do your squats, your bench press, all of those type of things, and be a lot more safer than just trying to lug a bar over your head on your own. Now, if you're very limited on space, the option I would go for would be this, which is the Mirafit M120 adjustable squat rack. Now, what's good about this one is you can adjust the width of it. Let's say you're training in a garage that doesn't have the most space on the sides. An Olympic barbell tends to be 7 foot long or 7 foot wide, 7 foot long. So you can get a shorter barbell, maybe like a 6 foot or a 5 foot, and you can be able to shrink the rack down so it doesn't take up as much space. This is also good if you need that space at other times. You can shrink the rack, put it in the corner, and it's not going to be as imposing as having a full squat rack. The only slight drawbacks is you won't be able to do things like pull-ups, but you could obviously get a pull-up bar and put that in one of the doorways if you have that space. These don't tend to be rated quite as highly weight-wise. It's going to be squatting and benching really heavy numbers. This probably isn't going to be the one for you for the long term. However, at £120, you can't really go wrong. Probably the cheapest way you're going to be able to perform squats and bench at home safely. Now, they do also have an option that comes with an adjustable bench, and this is actually the adjustable bench that I have. So it's £150. So I don't think you actually save any money by buying it together. However, at least you know you're going to be getting all of that equipment sent to you at the same time. Again, this bench is great. It's like a semi-commercial bench, so not quite as durable as like a big techno gym adjustable bench, but they can cost you upwards of like £500-600. But for the money, I would probably say this is the best adjustable bench you can get. So for £269, you've got a very strong start to a home gym set there. The bench itself is rated to about 180 kilograms. I've benched, I think, 130 kilograms plus my body weight, so that'd be 210. And it did not wobble. It wasn't creaking at me. So, I mean, obviously, please make sure you check the instructions for the recommendations by the company. However, it is going to be able to be used up to a pretty high resistance. And also the money you save on being able to get a bench and the stand for only £269, it means you're going to be able to buy your Olympic barbell set and still have some money left over. So if we look at this set here, we've got a 6 foot bar. So again, because we may not have as much space, we can get a 6 foot bar and 60 kilograms for £279, or 100 kilograms for £379, which is about right. It's about £100 for 40 kilograms. So for just over £500, you can get yourself some squat stands, you can get yourself an adjustable bench, you can also get yourself 60 kilograms worth of plates, plus the bar, so that's 80 kilograms in total. And then for another £100, you could up that to 100 kilograms, which will give you 120 kilograms in total weight. I've got 2 more options left to show you now. So for number 4, we're going to be going for the Mirafit M210 half power rack. Like I was sort of saying before with the adjustable squat stands, they don't tend to be as stable as, say, a full rack. However, this half power rack is going to save you the space compared to a big squat rack, but it's also going to give you that bit more durability and also the ability to do pull-ups on it as well. As you can see, we've got a nice pull-up bar at the top. We've got the safety spotter arms. And it's going to be much more heavy duty than the adjustable ones. So I think, again, this is rated probably to about 250 kilograms. But again, to make sure you check the manufacturer's recommended allowance. But no, very good solid rack, £299. So a similar price to the M110. So this one doesn't have an option to attach a pulley system to it. But again, it's going to save you a little bit of space. Some people prefer to have that extra bit of room. And if you can kind of see in this picture here, like I was speaking about, you can actually get, because the bar is in the middle rather than at either end, you can actually fit your bench sort of in the middle of the rack and bench it, rather than being outside, and those spotter arms are going to have you covered. Now, if you don't want to have your plates lying around on the floor and you have the space, you can always get a storage system attached to this. So for about another £120, you can get the spotter arms, and you can also get the storage on the back. And this is going to be a great way to put your plates up, so they're not going to be like lying around on the floor. And then finally, we've got an M4 power rack. So you kind of notice the theme here. We've got the M100, 200. If it's a squat stand version, it tends to be like 110 or 120. So we're onto the M4, which is probably the most heavy duty of all of the racks that they have here at Mirafit. Now, once again, it comes in black, comes in orange. The running theme continues throughout this. There are also many different heights you can get. So for this one, we've got about 2 meters tall by about 61 centimeters deep. So this means it's going to be a narrower rack, so you won't have quite as much space inside. I have a similar one at home, and basically what you find is when you're doing things like squats, it can feel a little bit claustrophobic, a little bit tight. However, if you're someone who's been squatting for a while, you should be fine. It's just, especially if you like a little bit wobbly, if you're maybe new to the gym, you might feel quite kind of enclosed during that space. So you might want to opt for the 91 centimeter, or they even have a 1 meter just to give you even more space inside the rack. So depending on your height, we've got different options for you. We've got a sort of just under 7 foot option, just under 8 foot option, and then a just under 9 foot option as well. It will have to be bolted into the floor. If you can kind of see down here at the bottom, there's not that supporting bar, so you can get all the way into the rack. However, you're going to have to bolt it down into the concrete or onto a platform. It does also have a pulley system. This one's a bit more expensive. It's £349 rather than £150. So all in, you're looking at around £1,200 or £1,100 for this rack with a pulley system. It might be a little bit less, might be a little bit more, depending on how tall and wide you go for. And those are our 5 options. So to recap, we've got the M100, which is our kind of entry-level squat rack. It's around £299. It comes with a pulley system if you want to pay the extra money for it, rated to 250 kilos. So for the majority of people, this is going to be fit for your needs. We've then got the M200, which is a bit more heavy duty, going up to 350 kilograms in total weight. It's about £100 more expensive. Again, it also has a pulley system that you can attach. If you're someone who's really looking at shifting some heavy numbers, I would go for the M200 over the M100. If you're looking at saving some space, if you've got a small area, maybe in a kind of outside shed building or in your garage, part of your garage being used for your gym, then I would try going for the adjustable squat stands. So what's great about these is that you can go for a different length bar, so a 6 foot bar or a 5 foot bar or even a 7 foot bar, but you can basically shrink the width of the rack itself. It also comes with kits for 150 quid. You can get an adjustable bench with it, which is great because that means for less than the price of the M100 rack, you've got your squat stands and you've got a bench. One of the slight downsides of this though is that you're not going to be able to do pull-ups, so you'd have to purchase a different pull-up bar, and also it's not going to be as stable or as safe potentially as a full-on squat rack. If you kind of like that squat stand vibe but you want something a bit more durable, we can go for the half power rack, and this is going to have the option to have the storage on the back of it as well. So for £429 you can get the half rack with the storage and the spotter arms, so you're going to be pretty safe when you're doing your squats and your bench press. You're also going to be able to put those plates away and keep it nice and tidy in your gym area. And then finally, we have the M4 power rack. So for the real sort of bodybuilders and powerlifters out there, this is probably going to be the rack for you if you've got the money to invest in it. It is a lot more expensive at £650 for the smallest. So that's the 205 centimeter tall by 61 centimeter deep. So they're kind of like a thinner, shorter rack. And it goes all the way up to £950 for the tallest, which is just under 9 foot by 1 meter. It's up to you depending on how much space and how much weight you're going to be lifting. But if you've got the money and you want something that's going to last you literally forever, unless you become like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman, or Eddie Hall, then this is going to be a very decent rack to add to your gym. There is also a pulley system for the M4. So again, for an extra £350, you can add on some extra accessories. So if you've got your cable attachments, like your ropes, you've got your D handles, and that's pretty much it. So as with anything in life, which is the best one? Well, it totally depends on your situation. What I say is great about Mirafit is that literally any one of these racks that I've gone through, if they fit your needs, they are going to be such a great investment. They're really reasonable in price, really good quality, they deliver really quickly, and for those of you who are in a place to do so, you can actually finance this stuff. So if you spend over £1,000, you can get finance over 1, 2 or 3 years. The interest rate is a little bit expensive at 18%. However, let's say you're paying £40 or £50 a month for your gym membership. I would maybe look at, if you know you can afford that, seeing how much money you could borrow for £50 a month or £60 a month, whatever you're willing to spend on your gym membership, spread that out over 2 or 3 years, and then you'll be able to get every single piece of gym equipment all at once and not have to worry about buying it, you know, £100 here or £200 there in chunks over time. So I hope this video has been useful for you. If it has, please drop me a like and a subscribe. I'm going to be posting lots of different videos to help people build their home gyms, as well as also posting coaching content to help you achieve your goals in and outside of the gym. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.